And to ensure those voting in person this election can do so at a safe social distance, some sports arenas are being transformed into voting super centers. ABC's Devin Dwyer has more on that.
ABC News got an inside look at Capital One Arena in D.C. as officials prepare for voting booths just steps from center court and center ice.
So they're going to check in right here under the Bud Light sign. And then they're going to...
In front of the sticks. In
front of the Capitol sticks. And then these are going to be voting booths all the way down this concourse.
You got it.
Yes.
While the typical precinct has often just a handful of voting machines, this super center will have dozens, able to process thousands of voters in a day with plenty of social distance.
Once they voted, they will come further down the corridor and put their ballot in a tabulating machine, get their I voted sticker, and they can exit.
So this is a one-directional flow to keep people moving.
One-directional flow to keep people. I mean, that alone will end up driving efficiency.
The efficiency, a big sell for poll workers who've been harder to recruit this year because of health concerns. The convenience, potentially enticing to reluctant voters who might otherwise stay home.
Our players are incredibly motivated to encourage people to use their voice and vote, and they have been pushing both us as a company and our employees to get engaged.
Beal puts it up and in! And the Wizards! Players across the NBA and other pro sports pushing to make polling places more accessible.
Our voice is being heard, our vote is being counted, and you know, and it's a huge push for us as a nation to take that right.
NBA superstar LeBron James leading the effort, in part as a response to national protests for racial justice after the death of George Floyd.
When you have the kind of presence and success of a LeBron, I'm sure his voice is a bit more influential than others. But the good news is virtually every player in the NBA, virtually every franchise in the NBA is trying to have a positive impact.
Tony Ressler, owner of the Atlanta Hawks, was the first professional team to open its 700,000 square foot State Farm Arena as a voting supercenter for an election.
It's actually good business. Please understand, our fans, the overwhelming majority of our fan base is so excited that we took this on. Democrat or Republican.
Such a success, the arena is expecting huge turnout starting next month.
We're going to move to 60 processing stations and 300 voting machines, to give you a sense. So it's going to be a much more substantial effort, much larger, and frankly, with many, many more voters. Anyone in Fulton County, any registered voter in Fulton County will be able to come to our facility to vote.
And Devin Dwyer joins me now. Devin, with so many people expected to cast their votes in these super centers, how hard has it been to try to ensure they can do so safely without getting or spreading COVID-19?
Yeah, Diane, super centers of people might seem counterintuitive during a pandemic, but public health officials actually tell me these large spaces will be significantly safer than those smaller polling locations like school gyms and libraries. Of course, besides social distance and ventilation, you saw it in the piece, organizers are preparing these one-directional flows of people to cast their ballots. They will move very efficiently and keep their distance from people. Of course, they do caution, though, there will be a lot of sanitizer on hand, a lot of PPE as well. We saw that firsthand here in D.C. Hundreds of thousands of wipes stockpiled, ready for distribution to these super centers. They plan to wipe the machines down after each voter. Diane.
And Devin, one potential issue, though, when you get so many people in one place is long lines and wait times. And we've seen in other circumstances, they make all these great plans for what happens inside, and then you end up seeing people packed outside waiting to get in. So what kind of backup plans do they have in place, if any, for that?
Yeah, I mean, super centers are not going to be super quick necessarily this year. We've seen those lines before. Election officials tell me and emphasize, keep your expectations in check. You will end up likely waiting in line. And in fact, the lines might look longer than they normally do because people have to space out at 6 feet apart. So you may see them stretching down the block just to get into the arena. But if you're in line to vote, you will be able to cast a ballot. It's important to remind everybody, vote early. You don't have to go and wait in those lines on Election Day, many of these places, including here in D.C., these arenas will be opening for weeks ahead of Election Day. So cast those ballots early. The lines will be shorter then, Diane.
So just to clarify, if you're online at the time that precinct is supposed to close, they will stay open?
That's right. In most states, if you're online, if election officials at the precinct point see people in line, they will allow everyone in line in the door to cast a ballot.
And how do people go ahead and find out where they're supposed to cast their vote? And is there any thought that having these super centers might make that part of the process easier?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, a lot of these arenas are already open their doors right now to registration drives. Make a plan right now. In fact, you can go to vote.org. It's a nonpartisan one-stop shop where you can check to see if you're registered. You can request a mail-in ballot. You can find a polling location or a super center near you to cast that ballot. Vote.org. Make that plan right now. Diane?
All right, Devin Dwyer for us in Washington. Thanks, Devin.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.